Yeah, a golden advice from the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Remi Tinubu. She said people should go into the business of roasting corn and then frying akara, kulikuli. The advice is good for her gullible followers. But when we look at the details of those words, then we now understand that it is already failure at arrival, because this is the problem that our husband have: basic economic knowledge. This basic economic knowledge is what the President Tinubu did not have with his own cabinet. That's why you see the economy going down the spiral. It's because of this basic economic knowledge. Now let's analyze akara, corn, kulikuli. Number one, these are products. And where do we get beans to do this akara? Terrorists have taken over the forest, and the government is helpless. The supply of beans is very minimal. So how many Nigerians do you want them to go into the business of akara? That's question number one. Two, you talk of corn. When President Tinubu was coming, he said corn, agbado, and all of that. As it stands now, terrorists did not allow people to go into farming. So where do we get corn for Nigerians to go into the business of roasting corn on the street and start selling? That is for that. Granite is the one they use to make granite cake, which is that kulikuli you're talking about. Now, where do we get the granite? The northern part that produce excessive granite have been disseminated, or they have been disseminated. Terrorists have taken over their land, and terrorists are taking taxes from their land. Recently, there was a news that it was coming from Kebbi State. The terrorists demanded, I think, 10 million or 5 million from the farmers, and whoever refused to pay will be attacked and will not farm. So where did you expect this product to be coming for Nigerians to go into such business? So these are the factors. Now let's keep that aside. For those that want to go into akara, the oil that you're going to be using to fry the akara, is it Nigerian made or imported oil? The ororo that you're going to be using is imported, right? Now, how much is a cake or that ororo? How much akara do you need to fry to get your money recovered? So these are the things you begin to analyze. These are the factors you need to analyze. But these people, obviously, they are not in the same world with us, right? While we are thinking of basics, they are thinking another different. And that's why you see that they will come out and say what they want to say. For those that follows them, cheers them, clap for them to hear. Yes, but for some of us who can think about what they say or what they are not saying, we can't just accept what they say, because we look at it that it is a fraud by even making that statement. It is a failure on arrival, right? These are the basic economic principles that Tinubu did not know. And that's the reason why when he came into office, he did not analyze anything. He just went ahead to make a proclamation that subsidy is gone. Now, he cannot even manage the economy. That is because he failed. That's why his wife is coming to tell us to go into corn business, agbado business, roasted corn business, kulikuli business, and akara business. For instance, if at all the economy is working, she will never come low to advise us to go into those kind of business. Now, let's look at the area of supply, demand and supply. For instance, 200 million Nigerians go into akara, corn, and then kulikuli business. How many people will buy the remaining ones? Now, how many people do we expect them to buy? Because everybody is in production. So, who is going to be the consumer? Now, what happens? Diminishing return happens. Did you understand? So now let's even assume that not everybody that wants to go into the business idea has sophisticated business idea. Because now this same woman plant ugu and she later pluck tomato. We were thinking, because the ugu was planted in Aso Rock, and then later she harvested tomato. People were like, how do you plant ugu and you harvest tomato? So such people will advise us to go and start kulikuli at kulikuli and corn roasted or the major road or anywhere just to survive. So you look at it that if plenty people go into the business, who is going to buy? That's in another aspect. In another aspect now is, how do you even get money to buy since the economy is even bad? Ask business people, those who have firms, those who have business striving in Nigeria. Ask them what they are facing. Now there's an idea you produce. You can produce as much as you want, but when the demand is not there, you automatically go at loss. Because when you produce, those who are producing bread, ask them, since when Tinubu came here, how are they feeling? Bread that we used to buy 200 naira, 300 naira have skyrocketed to 1,000, 1 plus. Guess what? Sometimes they will produce this bread, and the people that want to eat bread, it's not because people don't want to eat bread, but because people are rationalizing between, they reschedule their scale of preference. You understand? You have to look at what is so important to you at that moment, then you let others forgo. Like, others becomes a foregone alternatives, because you cannot buy all. Because human desire is insatiable, yes. And the government have made everything so difficult for people to even get the basic need of survival. So you expect people to go into business without first looking at the factors that will make people make money. Because if you don't have a job, we don't have jobs, Nigerians don't have jobs, so how do you make money? Even if you want to go into the business, when you produce, who are your customers? Because before you start a business, there's what we call market survey. You understand? Or they call it market visibility or something like that. Yeah, market survey. You have to survey the place, know the demands of the people before you go into the business. Otherwise, you start producing something, it becomes a misplaced priority, just as the Nigerian government always go for misplaced priority. That's how it's going to happen. And because the government is always at the misplaced priority, that's why we are not going anywhere. Those things that are supposed to be done, they leave it, and they are doing those things that are not necessary. A good example is building new coastal road when the old existing road are in a bad shape. Instead of them to fix the existing road, they left it and they are building new road. Most of everything in this Tinubu government is misplaced priority. That's why you see nothing is working. So if we begin to look at it, let me start a business. Many people have gone into business and now they are crying. Yesterday I was speaking with a friend. He's into phones accessories, and trust me, in a day he sells only one phone. And when he sells that one phone, before another round of customer will come and buy again, he would have spent the money he have sold the phone, the previous phone that he have sold. He will spend the money because he has a family to cater for. He himself will need to eat. That is number one. Then number two, if he sells one phone and he goes back to the market, don't forget, inflation is already in the market. Prices are volatile. So if he buys the phone, let's say he buys the phone 110, he goes back to the market again to buy, they will tell him the phone is 120 or 130. So how will he meet up with his own market? So at the end of the day, the forces, the economic variables that are not stable will force him to, close down his business. Because virtually everything we get in Nigeria are imported. Nothing is being produced in Nigeria. And that is why we are saying that for a government, for any working government, you must go into production. Without production, there will not be jobs. There will not be stability in the economy. A lot of things will go wrong, right? So these are the things. So, madam, that your advice. If I say you should advise them to your kitchen cabinet, those ones where they help you cook food. Maybe they do akara for you, maybe they do kulikuli for you, maybe they roast corn give you chop. But when you bring it to the picture of general Nigeria, it don't go work because so many factors are out there to militate against that your advice. So it doesn't work. It doesn't count anything. For those that are even trying it, they know what they are facing. Sometimes if you even roast corn, nobody comes to buy. So what do? You go and eat the corn for how long? So assuming you are not the one even farming the corn, what happens? So even though if you are the one farming the corn, what is the profit? You harvest your corn, you roast it, nobody buys. So at the end of the day, you are not still making money. So you are still running at deficit. So the advice, it don't make sense. The only thing I think you should have advised yourself and maybe your husband is to make sure there is security in the country, there is stable electricity, there is functioning good road, there is health care, and other things will fall suit. You understand? You don't need to come and advise us. Everybody, people know what they go do to survive. So if these factors are not put in place, this your advice is dead on arrival. I so submit. Please do well to share this video and let it get to whomever it may concern. Let it get to the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Bye. Love you all.